Hi everybody, it's Irene here. So I wanted to show you my face paint boards, do a couple of designs for some sea creatures that I do. I am using an Azure 5/8 brush with a homemade split cake that I have, but my boards represent basically a 5 to 7 year old, and this design that I'm doing with the dolphin is one that's very popular. I do it all the time. It's quick, it's easy, but I'm known more for my little cartoony art when it comes to any of my sea creatures. And with this dolphin, I like to take the edge of that back flat and just make a little bit of a mouth. Now, I know most of you are not going to make a mouth. It's not what you normally do, but because I've been doing this design for so long, and it just seems to be my little go-to dolphin, especially with the little cartoony look, I just simply love it, and the kids love it. They think it's, super cute, and I like it when they're happy. So I'm sharing that with you today. Many of you have seen me do this before, but again, just wanted to show you how it's going to look on this board, because when you're working with a smaller face, it is much different than working with an adult face. And you have to learn how to use your brushes a little bit differently as well. Now, with that being said, what I'll be doing is I'll be using different size brushes, and you're going to just see some different techniques today. But I'm picking up just a little bit of red. I'm using one of my Alea brushes, and I'm just going to come in and pop a color right into that mouth. Now, this design, I like to kind of outline the mouth and bring it up. So you saw that I was rolling that paint, and I'm going to come in and I'm right at the tip up underneath the nose. I'm going to kind of just outline that whole mouth and then bring that white all the way back, right? It's like a shine of white just coming through. And then I'm going to build this really big cartoony eye. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subdivide it and then color in the eye. When you do that, it makes it super easy to come back just a little bit later when you're using your black, or you could use a very dark navy blue to outline your dolphin. But because I already have white on my brush, I'm just going to add in some swirls. A lot of you are going to do this different, and this is just to kind of mimic flow of the dolphin, how that dolphin's coming out of the water. I don't ever do this the same way. I'm just going to be super honest with you. It is never the same. It doesn't matter, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute because I'm going to recreate this dolphin again. But I never do this the same, and sometimes it looks better than others, but draw in your teardrops and bring in a little bit of movement with the dolphin, and it is going to help it look like it's just coming out of the water. Some of you may even elect to put splashes in there, and that looks fabulous as well. But for this, I'm just going to come in here and put a couple of teardrops and just make it look like, it's got movement. That's all. So the nice thing about the board, as I'm kind of painting and showing you a few things, is this. You have two faces to the board. And when you have two faces to the board, you will always gravitate to whatever side works best for you. I am a right-handed person. I tend to always want to paint on the right-hand side. It's just the way that I flow. I'm just adding a little bit of pops of highlight in here before I outline it. But you're always going to want to gravitate to one side of, the face. And for me, it's always going to be my right, the child's left, and that's just the way it is. But with the board, what it gives you an opportunity to do is it does give you an opportunity to work your opposite side. So for an example, as I'm painting the dolphin over here to the right, I could recreate this dolphin on the left side. Now, you can see that her face looks a little bit different than the little boy's face. The cheeks are higher, she's got a big grin. I don't know, have you ever had that child that just always wants to smile and she just won't relax? Well, this is a good way to practice. And to be quite honest, if I had this particular child on the left, I would do the dolphin with the head up at the top on the forehead, with the tail swerving back around, back down towards the smile. So again, you have options here. You can make that dolphin going up, you can make the tail coming down, but the boards offer you a choice to really kind of work your skill sets and then work that opposite side. Now, we also have this board now with a girl on the right-hand side, but it's a great way to practice. I'm adding little eyelashes in here. Again, I want this dolphin to be kind of kawaii, if you will, and that's what we're doing. And so the only thing I want to do now is when you are finished with your line work, I always like to put a pop of sparkle in the eye. So that's all I'm doing right here. I'm just coming back and I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle in that dolphin's eye because once again, that's what kind of makes it look very cute. So there you have it. Now, if I'm doing a split view, which I'm going to do here in just a second, I'm going to show you where literally I told you those teardrops never look the same. They don't. I don't care how many times I paint this dolphin, and this is why it shouldn't matter to you either. You're always going to paint your dolphin one particular way, and then when it comes to teardrops and flow and splashes and all the other things that make it exciting and make it yours, you're going to constantly change it. So it won't matter. You see, if you go over here to the opposite side, it looks totally different. But you know what? That's the fun of it. It's your dolphin at the moment, and that's what we're doing. So are you ready to do this second one? So what we're creating here is going to be this fun little octopus. Now, I don't know that octopuses are fun. I just think they're kind of cool. And I am using my homemade split cake once again to create my creature of the sea. So octopuses have long tentacles that kind of go everywhere. And if you're trying to create flow, your flow might be different from mine. So don't feel like your octopus's flow or where those tentacles land need to be exactly the same as mine. I'm just kind of taking it and I'm pulling it around the face, around the eyes. I'm hitting different focal points, basically, right? And I keep looking at it and I keep going, well, where do I want the next one? Because that is just not enough tentacles for me. I need more, right? So I need more and I'm going to create more. But where am I going to put it? That's the question. And that's the problem with most of us, right? This is one of the reasons why we use practice boards. Practice boards, and by the way, did you notice I gravitated to the right-hand side again? Uh, my right and someone else's left. It just, again, the way that it happens. But the boards provide you that opportune moment to actually practice your opposite side. So I'm coming in, and I know this seems weird because I'm outlining now, but the reason that I'm outlining it is because I'm just trying to create some shape right before I put in this eye. Now, if you look at this, I'm kind of elongating the eye, and I'm just going to go ahead and just totally outline it. It's going to help me because I'm going to do other things. But is there a right or wrong way for doing this? There's not. You can totally wait till the end and outline your octopus, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. The big thing for me is that eye curvature, because that eye curvature, the way that I have it, it's elongating the eye, almost like if there's a fold in it, if you will, because you can see it has a little bit of a brow. And once I add some stenciling into this, you're going to see it almost become like a jellyfish looking iridescent kind of view. I don't know, it's just going to look cool. That's what I think. Anyway, that's what we're preparing for you. So the eye that I'm making in this octopus is not actually a true octopus eye. So an octopus eye, and it's such a mouthful, it's a cephalopod. So it's the pupil is kind of elongated and very similar to like a goat eye or a dragon eye, right? They're not round, the pupils are not round, they're elongated, and it's the pupil is kind of like a rectangle. It looks cool and it's very different, but It is a Greek word. I think it's Greek and Latin maybe. So you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pronounced cephalopod. And that is the true traditional octopus eye. But enough of that. We're just going to do this round eye because it's easy, and I think for a beginner it would be easier to just kind of do it this way. I am bringing in an additional pop of color right up underneath, and it's kind of like a yellowish blue maybe, kind of like that. But we're going to play around with this. We're going to add a little bit of stencil work as well, and once we do that, it is going to have a whole new dimensional look because it's almost going to appear like a jellyfish type of look, but it's cool. And I think that you'll have fun with this octopus. I want to add some stenciling into this to bring some dimension into the octopus. I want to bring in some of the same color. So you see that I kind of have like a green, yellow, orange theme going on here. So with this kabuki brush, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some orange and yellow off yet another palette that I made, and I'm going to sponge this in. Now, because it's a little bit darker, it is going to bring more of a translucent look to the actual octopus, which I think is going to be super cool. Now, you can totally skip this part if you want to, but I think all of us as artists, we like bringing that little bit of extra pop, and it doesn't take that long to grab the stencil and do that. But I think just adding that in itself looks super cool. Of course, for me, I've always got to have a sparkle in the eye. Doesn't matter if it's an octopus or it's a dolphin or whatever it may be. I've always got to have that little bit of extra sparkle. So I'm just going to dab in some white, but I also want to add a little bit of shine to the back of the eye. That's why you see me coming in between. And then I'm going to add those dots right in there for that small twinkle. So just a little bit, not too much. So now what I want to do is I want to take a pop of yellow, and it's going to be a more brighter yellow. I'm using a bolt brush, and I'm going to be laying down similar to like putting dots on your design, but I'm going to elongate the dots. So that's what I want to do. I want to elongate the dots in this design, and I'm going to be adding them to the the legs of this octopus, and then just kind of building it going all the way around. Now you can see where this yellow actually now makes this design really pop. It becomes very colorful when you do this, and it just looks super cool. I just love doing octopuses, and when a kid wants one, I just can't imagine. And if I worked at a sea aquarium, I would be doing this one all the time. For those of you who have my face paint boards, what's really kind of cool, again, if you don't ever paint on your opposite side, if you always go to your strong side, right? Mine just happens to be to my right. I'm right-handed. That's where I'm comfortable. Then working on your left-hand side is going to be super important. Now for today, I'm just showing you what these designs look like on my stronger side, adding in highlights, some dimension with the stencil work, but if I wanted to really make this like a design that I could do quickly, and I could do it quickly, whether it be on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, I could just immediately paint my good side, do it, and then take that same design and paint it on the opposite side. It would show me literally where I would need work, because the flow of your hand and how you paint is always very comfortable, and then it becomes somewhat awkward when you're doing it on the other side. And all I'm doing is kind of just putting some detail works right now into the little suction cups. But if you understand that you're always going to have this kid no matter what, they sit in your chair and you just immediately turn their face whichever way you want, especially if they want a side design. But you're always going to have that kid that's like, oh no, you have to paint this side. This is my better side. And then you're like, well, okay, but is my design going to look as great on that side as it would this side. This gives you a perfect opportunity to build that skill set. And because these are more in line with an actual kid's face, I think that it's a perfect opportunity for you to, do that. Or another thing you could do with the boards is you could actually do kind of like opposite creatures, okay? You ever have those two people that will come up, and by the way, I'm just shading in right here just a little bit just to create some shadow. But have you ever had that person go, oh, hey, this is my friend, and we want to have kind of like similar designs, but on the opposite side because when we take a picture, we want it to look super cool? Well, this is a good way to practice that too. You can have some designs that are complementary to each other. There is a face painter that I know, and she's a great friend of mine. Her name's Janice, and she did this amazing like snowball fight between the two. And I just thought it was amazing and awesome. So getting back to my octopus and getting away from my board for a second, creating shadows like this just creates depth into the design. And so I hope you really like it, and I hope you like the two designs for today. And of course, I hope if you have my boards, you're enjoying them.